On today's show, truckloads of Tesla Model 3s have been spotted in New Zealand. Ford shows what its electric F150 prototype can do by pulling a massive train, and the world's first Level 4 autonomous valet parking system gets the regulatory go-ahead to enter operation. These stories and more coming next. This is Ecotricity's EcoTEC Roundup show from New Zealand's only carboNZero certified renewable electricity company. We are 100% Kiwi and 50% community owned. Why not switch today at ecotricity.co.nz. Welcome to episode 100 of the EcoTEC Roundup show. It is fantastic to be celebrating our first century, and here's to many more. But before I get on with the first story today, I've got some fantastic news to share. To celebrate our 100th show, we are giving the first 100 customers to switch to Ecotricity using the code EcoTEC100 will receive a free Ecotricity shirt, like this one, and a $50 credit on their account. What better excuse to switch, eh? We're starting today with a snippet of information from our spies all over New Zealand, namely that several truckloads of Model 3s have been spotted on Kiwi roads. While Tesla said we wouldn't see the Model 3 on sale in New Zealand until August, I'm guessing these trucks are getting ready for a big launch event, and I hope to be able to bring you more info on it next week. Are you on the wait list for Model 3? Let us know in the comments if you know when you're getting your car. Keeping with Tesla, let's look at Tesla's second quarter financials next. Released mid-week, they show the automaker reported larger than expected losses and a smaller than expected revenue. The total loss for the quarter was less than experienced in Q1, however, and Tesla managed to break its production and delivery records once again. Tesla's gross automotive margin, how much it makes on each car sold, fell in the second quarter, despite achieving nearly $5 billion in cash on hand at the end of the quarter. Mention of the Tesla Semi and Roadster were absent this time, but Tesla is pushing ahead full steam with Model Y. Tesla's financials may have caused Wall Street a little worry, but what actually caused stock to tumble further was the news that Tesla's CTO, JB Straubel, one of Tesla's OG team, will be leaving the company. Announced at the start of the earnings call, JB Straubel will be transitioning to a purely advisory role at Tesla. Considered to be one of Tesla's most important executives and influential in every Tesla vehicle since the original Roadster, JB was careful to note that he's still very fond of Tesla and the team there. We wish him all the best in his new endeavours. GM's autonomous vehicle arm Cruise had originally set 2019 at the year it would launch its commercial autonomous taxi fleet services. But as the year barrels towards its close, the company has now officially put back those plans. In a Medium blog post this week, Cruise's CEO said that while the essential building blocks of autonomous driving are in place, kind of the same thing that Tesla's been saying, right? Cruise needs to continue its testing and safety validations, as well as building charging infrastructure to support the network. Part of that, the US's largest EV fast charging station, although Cruise hasn't yet set a rollout date for the service or the charging station. Ford dropped an unexpected video midweek in which it showcased a prototype all-electric F150 pickup truck towing 1 million pounds of rail cars. Demonstrated in front of a group of hardened Ford F-Series pickup owners, the pickup truck repeated the demonstration a second time after loading up the previously empty rail cars with 42 internal combustion engine F-150s. The video is certainly impressive, although it's not super hard to tow a rail car because of physics. I was impressed, but some of you have been dropping conspiracy theories alleging it was fake. I guess only time will tell. The US-based consumer watchdog, working alongside the Center for Auto Safety, has yet again called on the Federal Trade Commission and Department of Motor Vehicles in the US to instigate an investigation into Tesla's Autopilot system. Their collaborative claim that Tesla has engaged and misled with deceptive practices when discussing what its Tesla Autopilot system can and can't do. At the heart of the dispute seems to be the name itself, which the group says confuses consumers. In some cases, it alleges Tesla makes, quote, their owners believe that a Tesla with Autopilot is an autonomous vehicle capable of self-driving, To be clear, it is not." End quote. I am sure a rebuttal from Tesla will be forthcoming. Nissan has quietly launched a service campaign for all Nissan LEAFs, both first and second generation, after it was discovered that bonding plates used to hold the battery pack into position in both generations of the car could corrode and fail. Nissan says that cars located where the roads are salted in winter are at the most risk of this happening, but it is conducting a voluntary service campaign to replace faulty bonding plates and bolts with new, improved parts. Note that this technically isn't a recall, but I think you should personally treat it as such. In an ongoing battle between the US EPA under President Trump and the state of California, with automakers somewhere in between the two, California's Air Resource Board has reached an agreement with 4 automakers on pollution and mileage standards. Ford, BMW, Honda and Volkswagen have signed the deal as part of a compromise which will see them meet stricter emissions and fuel economy standards, at least more than the Trump administration wants to imply, but will delay the previous Obama-era standards, which California is going to adopt, by 1 year. It should ultimately help see more electric cars get made. Daimler, working alongside Tier 1 parts supplier Bosch, has received official approval by local authorities to operate a fully autonomous Level 4 valet parking garage service. The service will be put into operation in the parking garage attached to the Mercedes-Benz Museum in Stuttgart. After driving to a drop-off point, equipped cars will then be able to drive themselves to a parking space without their owner, then return to meet their passengers and owner when paged by smartphone app. Both parties hope to roll out this feature to more locations in the not-too-distant future. China is often criticised for not doing enough to accelerate the world's transition to cleaner, greener forms of energy and transportation. But this week, a new report from the UITP Global Public Transport Summit revealed that China's doing a whole lot when it comes to electric buses. Noting that 1/2 of the world's bus fleet is still diesel-powered, the report states that of the 18% of buses in the world that are now battery electric, 57% of those are in operation in China. Sure, there's a long way to go. Electric buses are still a pretty small percentage of the world's total bus fleet, but China is leading by example. And finally, it is everyone's nightmare. Driving along late at night in a neighbourhood you don't know when your car finally runs out of fuel. Thankfully, with modern EVs, that doesn't happen all that much. And when it does, usually what follows is a call to a friend to help you out, or maybe to a tow company. But one Florida man, yes, Florida man, thought it was okay when his Model 3 ran out of charge to just simply park up and plug into a nearby power outlet. The homeowner in question awoke the next day to find a stranger's car plugged in and charging on his lawn. The homeowner was more good-natured about it than most would be, but please, don't just randomly plug in, people. Plan ahead, okay? And on that note, I'm going to say goodbye. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, tell your friends about the show, and if you've got some feedback that you'd like to share with us, please do. You know where to send it. Make sure as well that you hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on our next episode. And while you're at it, why not make the switch to New Zealand's only carboNZero certified renewable electricity company? It is super easy to make the change, and if you do, you'll be helping New Zealand towards a cleaner, greener, zero-emission future. Don't forget too that if you're one of the first 100 customers to sign up using the code EcoTEC100, you'll get a shirt like mine and $50 towards your first utility bill. Thanks for joining me. I'm Nikki Gordon-Bloomfield. Ka kite. See you next time.